And we are off for episode 15 already
Wow.
of Run for the Roses on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am Ryan, real digital horseman Kramer, and he is the breeder of a Kentucky Derby champion, the man in the desert, Mr. Space Rothstein, and the chief horse officer of SGPN Stables, Mr. Scott Bowser. How are we doing today?
Great. I'm here in a friend of the show, Adam Rosenberg's hotel room at the Circa Casino. I know you're also in this hotel at a different room.
We probably have the same slot artwork behind us.
I think we do. So if it's like, hey,
Other side, on the other wall.
oh, I 100% have that exact artwork. Yeah. So yeah, we're not in the same room, but we are in the same room. If that makes any sense.
Basically, same vicinity, different room, and yeah, loaded show for you. And by the way, I if I didn't mention it and you're not aware, we did win the season 29 Kentucky Derby. So with that, loaded show today. Of course, week 3 always kind of fun. Things are funneling down into those free rolls, into the majors, breedings wrapping up. And a lot to talk about in the world of photo finish. Like I said, loaded shows. We're gonna cover some of the big sales over the last couple weeks. We're gonna touch on Mr. Soulnut Stables' worst stable names post that pretty made me laugh. So we're gonna talk about it on the show. We're going to talk about rebrands. We've been seeing that going on in the ecosystem. I don't want to say people are transforming, but they certainly are looking to change the look and feel of their stable. And of course, we're going to finish up a little bubble watch as we have the majors starting next week. Did I miss anything?
No, I think we.
And we'll check in. We'll check in with Bet Vibe, of course.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start? Should we do we want to start with the sales?
Yeah, let's start with the whale sales. I'm looking at our little rundown we got here, and let's just go in order here. I think that works.
All right, sweet. Let's pull these.
I forgot for this. We're calling it whale sales, the segment, and I forgot to bring my captain's hat. Real fail on my part. I wanted to do a whole sea captain character for this, and I guess I could still do the voice, but it just doesn't have the pop without the hat. Really, I should get like a Napoleon, like an admiral hat. Like I
kind of like that.
I might have that by next week's show. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice. All right, so yeah, I mean, not really going in any sort of order, as you can see, because we know there's a bigger sale out there. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun. It's always fun to kind of highlight the big dollar sales, see what's moving the needle. And this season, the theme seems to be left turf with a friend of the program, Lacey, who is making moves. First, picking up a SS minus filly. Going to hit the track in a year, I believe, or in a season, and 1750 for this one. Lacey making moves. Is this a reaction? You think this is the classic reinvest big winnings, or
I think so? Yeah. I mean, this is kind of what we did on a much cheaper scale with left turf, where it's like once we hit the top of the mountain on left dirt by winning the Derby, let's take some of that money, invest it in our left turf side, and start getting that competing for majors too. You know, I mean, and I think this is a fantastic purchase. Okay, what were you saying?
I was just going to say the difference here is that Lacey this is a left. She's already in the left turf world. She's done some damage over there already. I think it's
smart, no matter where you are, to buy a higher end mare every couple seasons, because we were talking about this with ourselves, where we did a lot more in-house breeding this season, and it seems like that on the surface. But we also went up for this last season and picked up a lot of outside mares. So we have new blood coming in. We just are doing it through a lot of mares this time instead of through a lot of studs, which, I mean, there's two ways to do it. So this is a great way to improve bloodlines in your stable. Get something completely new from outside, the SS minus female level. And I wouldn't be surprised if this competes and produces a lot of big time winners down the stretch here.
Is there? I mean, I pulling up the bloodline real quick. Just it's always kind of fun to look at it. You see names that make you think Tony Rigatoni might go back here, but of course we do see Twitch
Classic Gen Zero, yeah.
But yeah,
No,
and we see some of Lacey's studs here too. So
well, what I see a lot of too is like two S's there making the S plus, right? An S plus and an S making the S plus. We're like, you go to all those great grandparents. I think there's only one S plus in all that. The rest are all S minus. So there's some level up ability in this bloodline. I'm pretty sure here.
yeah, and I'm sure, honestly, like there's a couple of these purchases on the left turf side that other than it obviously being an SS minus female, that's going to be a great breeding piece. I'm still always kind of baffled at where the market gets set with these things. Which brings up
and also on this one, I noticed there's no like Morpheus, there's no Can Pork Chop, there's no Charlie Chaplin, there's no what's the other one? Kingslayer. Like those are like, so this should be able to go with a lot of really good descendants of great champions that we've seen in left turf.
And then a good transition because she made a bigger splash earlier in the season. Oh no, this is not her. This is a MCT PRI. Do you know this stable? Are you familiar?
No, this looks like a newer one. Honestly, well, that's the seller by. Oh yeah, no, that is by. Yeah, dude, that's some big money shit right there, bro.
Like, what in your mind? What like I'm gonna pull up the Let me pull up the bloodline here, but in your mind, so like typically when we see a sale go off nowadays, we're talking about in the 1,000 to 2,000 US dollar.
Also, range, right? I want to know, was this bot pregnant too? Because that's kind of interesting.
Yes, it was.
So,
and I'm having a hard time getting this thing.
I mean, loaded. You're seeing a 7-star SS minus female. That's nice alone, like.
All right, let me just cheat.
There we go.
No, we got it now though. So, Beetlejuice. Okay, Beetlejuice Stables made the purchase. That's just.
I mean, this is a great profile. Look at that, dude. Like, holy shit. SS temper, SS minus stamina, heart, and finish, S plus speed, S start. I mean, this has Harbor Classic champions in the bloodline written all over it. I mean.
It did win the Lunar Trophy Stayer in the last season of the S Plus, or one of the last seasons in the S Plus or in the uncapped category.
It finished 18th in a yielding Harbor Classic. With the yielding there, I'm not going to hold that too much against it. The fact that it qualified, it has a great reveal, and this is a good purchase.
Well, and again, it's a filly, and I think the other part of it is. Interesting what it's created. It already was bred with the new Pope for $24K. So it's got quite a pricey baby in here. So, you can see the strategy here is an attempt to flatten it out versus build on strengths. But I mean, star profile looks very nice. I could see you'd want to pick this one up with the baby inside. Let's pull up the blood real quick. And I mean, this has some dirt on it. One-eyed blind in the back in the lineage. Of course, we know Aqua Egg Lips, Nightcrawler. I mean, I'm seeing, not as someone who doesn't know the left turf side as much. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that I recognize now. This is interesting.
S mare, yeah, and S plus.
Whoa! Imagine hitting the nuts and then it actually coming together with some good traits as well.
That's incredible. Yeah, with the stars. I mean, yeah.
So it's a -2 female, but obviously did well on the track, has the stars. This is a very nice piece. I mean, but what I want to know with this one, and this is what I was getting to earlier. This thing sold for $450K.
Okay, and I did some research on this. I hit our friend the Wolf of Oakland up, host of the notorious OTB right here on the network.
Oh, a real horseman.
A real horseman. And I was like, what's like the cheapest claimer you've ever seen? And he said $4,000. So this digital horse is $1,625 more than
a real horse.
A real horse, yeah.
Seems a little wonky.
So you never know. I mean, this is a cruelty-free horse, a vegan horse.
Here's what I have to say, though. I could just be like, this is like 4x some of the bigger sale prices we typically see. So I'm
Yeah.
I like, was this just purely like make me a Godfather offer? I'm not selling this thing. Like
Could be definitely. I mean,
yeah,
because
and the fact that it was already bred makes me believe this could have been some sort of Godfather. We almost need like an inside reporter. We need
yeah.
like we need someone, and they don't need a face. They can just be a voice, but
If
just someone.
anybody involved in this transaction wants to hit us up off the record, even, and let us, because like, yeah, I want to know the thought process behind this, because you're right. I'm not saying overpaid. I mean, it definitely overpaid, but like, I just feel like at 450K, I would almost like my chances better, because we see SS minuses in the 10 to like 100K range, 20 to 100K range all the time. I would rather get like 5 of those, 6 of those for that price or something, like.
Again, I don't, and again, I pulled up the blood, but I'm sure, you mentioned some of the things that it's potentially avoiding on the left turf side. And maybe that, obviously, some of the, like, something blood permissive, like the permissiveness of what this horse can breed with has to be part of this equation.
That's definitely a part of the equation, because yeah, it's avoiding a lot of the big heavy hitters over on that side of the track. So I mean,
But also, this shape is like tailor made for, like you're saying, Harbor Classic. Really everything, right? Because it has the heart, it has the temper. It's
in the chat here. I'm sorry, I'm on Adam's stream, not mine.
That's all right.
But Absolute Horsepower in the chat saying, for context, they don't have a single retired SS minus LTS mare, and are widely considered the best LT stable in the game. So that right there shows you, yeah. I mean, if
I understand,
Horsepower,
even knowing that, it's still like, I guess you test the extremes, and again, you have to make a Godfather offer to a horse that's probably not, if it's perceived to be the best of something. I can't imagine someone would want to sell it that easily. So
yeah, and like we're saying with the blood permissiveness on it, yeah, like
hell of a breed too. Like to hit that off of a S plus S.
Dude. Well, we have hit an SS. Our first SS minus Generalissimo was S plus SS or S plus S roll up hit. So I know we didn't get the stars that this one got, but man, if we get anything close to those grades, I'm gonna love that.
Yeah, no, super interesting. And then last sale I wanted to highlight. Wait, did I pull up the wrong one? Did I accidentally pull up a? I was going to show you a right dirt horse. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we've been pretty clear. We're not all that interested in the right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone should live their own life, but we turn left over here.
Yeah.
And I think I may have made a mistake. There is not a third horse I wanted to show you. So
all right, well,
we can carry on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say every time I look at these purchases, it does give me that, I don't even want to call it FOMO, but the thought of like, ooh, maybe we should go look at the marketplace and see what we can find.
I mean, we've kind of done that a couple times in the past. That's how we got our first S plus and thugging the sheets and stuff. But I kind of like what we're organically building up, slowly building by, season by season right now, where our preference stars are getting better each season. And, we're about to have our third straight season with the major qualifier where, dude, we had gone, 12 seasons without a qualifier. So, we're definitely on the up and up here. So I don't know if we need to make a splash like that. If anything, we might want to think about hitting one of these splash studs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I honestly, like, I am excited. Like, we do have some fun, like the quality of our mare stud in-house combinations and availability has gotten way up in the last couple. We haven't even seen this stuff start to hit the track yet, so that it'll be pretty fun to let some of that filter out. All right, so what just happened here? We lost our screen. Next up,
we got some rebrands. Now I wanted to talk about this just like before this is something I wanted to talk about before I even saw people kind of publicly doing this. But I thought it's like, when is the time for you to rebrand? When is the time you just change? Like I was watching an episode of HBO's The Wire, and they changed the name of the heroine because their product was weaker than the other drug crews. So they just changed the name instead of getting better heroin. And I was thinking about that with this game, and it's like, yeah, people can slap a new coat of paint on it all they want, but if you're still doing the same things over and over again, you're still probably going to get the same results.
Well, and great point, because and I actually pulled two examples of rebrands for two different reasons. So maybe we can show and have fun joke / roast, because I think, to your point, like, what is the point of I don't want to be mean right now, but what is the point of any of this?
Well, yeah, like, I
What,
mean,
are you bored?
I
You
get
wanna
wanting to make your slick state I want to make your silks look sharper. Like, I totally understand that. I understand, like, little things. I also understand, like, here's one of the things I think maybe people should look into rebranding on is, if you're like specifically going for sprinters or specifically going to stairs and you keep missing on all of them, maybe you're just not running them at the right distances. Maybe that's where your rebrand needs to happen.
Are you saying the rebrand needs to be in the ownership of the stable,
Yeah, I
not
mean,
necessarily
yeah,
what
possibly.
they wear?
I mean, but like, dude, success usually trickles from. I mean, we could say, like, it starts at the top, right? You're the top in this game. You're not answering anybody else for the most part, unless you have like a whole syndicate like YSM does. But like, for the most part, like, dude, like, you and like one thing I've learned about this game since we started playing it is, this game, the key to having, both having fun and having success, those are often correlated, but like, you need, it's a series of making good small decisions.
Here's all right. So starting with, this is a rebrand due to positive things happening. All right.
Yeah,
so
they won a major. Yeah, they won.
Shout out to Cold Plunge Capital.
Yep.
Which I think he spent a lot of money on this ape. So give him a follow on X. But he's going from Cold Plunge Stables to Cold. I'll just read it. Cold Plunge Stables is now Cold Plunge Racing. Fresh up, which, by the way, the Cold Plunge is the most financed first major win, and with a roster of elite right dirt racers in the making. We're taking inspiration from the sleek dominance of Mercedes, AMG, Petronas F1, which, by the way, I don't quite get this reference, because they were good for a bit and then now they suck.
So yeah, maybe that's not the best model you want to be following there.
I certainly enjoyed watching Lewis Hamilton dominate F1, but I don't know if I'd be going for their color scheme or their current form. New name, new silk, same relentless pursuit of speed. CP Racing, where power meets elegance and every race is a statement. Now, as much as I will clown the idea of doing this, that last statement was power. Well, that was strong. Where power meets elegance and every race is a statement. I wish we had come up with that.
Well, it's funny they mentioned the Mercedes F1 thing there, because that sounds like some douchebag line from a Mercedes commercial, like, where power meets elegance right here in your Nazi mobile. Like,
Sten's pointing out that F1 cars do turn right and left. That is true. Also, they're what makes an F1 car an F1 car is those high speed corners.
Yeah, and F1 cars do turn. Like, they're not like NASCARs. They do the squirrely little loops and whatnot.
But unlike Formula One, Photo Finish Live is probably not as funded by things that you wouldn't want to find out is funding your favorite sport. Definitely don't look into F1 and where the money comes from. That I definitely wouldn't do that. And speaking of Photo Finish Live, if you're new to the game, you're wondering what the hell we're talking about. It's digital horses. It's horse sex, and it's betting. It's everything you could ever want. Join using the QR code on the screen, code SGPN. Whether you're interested in just betting on the races, you're interested in designing your own silks and maybe starting a stable and then becoming a racing outfit. I hope other people follow with Formula One. Like maybe we get like an orange, the papaya of McLaren, or the bull. There's a lot of options here, but join the game, hop in the game, and when you use our code, that's the key. You get into the Turf Club. And Bowser, we've already set up a couple people with some blood stock
Yeah.
pairings out of the SGPN stable. So again, Turf Club members get access to free rolls twice a month. They get access to our studs at discounts. And what we're basically doing now to new stables, guys competing at the lower levels, we have a ton of S minus and below
And
stuff that.
I mean, we got S pluses we're not using now at this point too.
Okay,
Like
so then we have a full suite of horses that we're kind of not necessarily going to breed with. And so whether you're interested in buying something,
put it this
borrowing something,
yeah,
hit us up.
Put it this way. It's like we can only race so many per season right now, but we have a lot more good ones to breed than we racing spots available in our stable right now.
So again, you sign up with our code, you get access to all that sweet stuff. And again, if you sign up now, anyone who signs up and starts their stable in the next before the Derby, I think what we'll do is we'll throw in for free some starter horses to get you started with some breeding pairs, some pregnant mares maybe to get you started, so you have something at no cost and you can really kind of get started on the lower level. So again, use the code SGPN, hop in, join the Turf Club, have fun. And next week is the Dirt Classic. We got $100 free roll. I think there's a 100 crown in there too.
Yep.
Turf Club members will get auto whitelisted. And again, if you want to get access to the free roll, breed with one of our studs. You still have time. Which, by the way, or sign up using the code.
Or
which,
you
by
can
the
also
way,
buy one of our horses that we have listed too. That'll also work.
Yeah, that works. And by the way, we just saw the game launched a deposit, again, a little incentive, which is if you breed. I didn't actually read all the fine print, but I believe
it was breed a horse by 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning, okay, and to make a deposit, and they'll give you a free $10 credit.
$10 match.
Yeah, a $10 match. Yeah.
Yeah. So which I think even we should take advantage of that, Bowser.
Yeah, we should.
So
we'll do that tonight. We'll do that when we meet downstairs after the show here.
We'll have horse sex downstairs at the Circa.
We will have some horse sex downstairs. Yeah.
And speaking of which, we are at the Circa. If you're ever out at the Circa, maybe you're into gambling, maybe you're just into the horses. If you're ever at the Circa, I'm here every Friday. Come hang out. Say what's up. I'll give you. But great.
Next week we will be doing the show live.
From great point.
Here. Yeah, so
doing a live show from the Radio Row for Circa Sign Up Weekend, where we're going to do a little one-off episode before Friday before Derby, Saturday with a basically what we learned from He's Ready to Gig, our Derby run, all that good stuff. So it should be a fun episode. Should be a little bit more evergreen, educational.
We could also fire some bets on the Artemis
educational
stuff,
from two.
That is that day. So
nice. Yeah, I was going to say. You'll get all the advice that we could possibly give you as two TMZ horsemen. Not what do people say? Not financial advice. Do your own research. We should change that to not experts. Do your own research. All right. Did a lot of rambling, but we do have off the heels of cold plunge racing. Which, by the way, in general, we see both racing and stables used as a nomenclature for a label on stables in the game. Do you have a preference? Obviously, we're SGPN stables. Do you personally have a preference between racing and stables?
No, whatever. Farms, barn, whatever you like.
To me, if I'm power ranking them, I'm saying I'm putting stables and farms above racing.
Yeah, I would too. But yeah,
because that's where they live. They live on a farm, Bowser.
All right, let's get it. Let's move on here.
yeah. Well, on the heels of this, we had someone rebranding for the opposite reason, which I'm guessing there was some satire in this post. Shout out to K2X Capital. K2 Stables is now K2 Ranch, fresh off 5 straight.
I would put ranch above farms, but yeah,
good call. Yeah, all above racing. Fresh off 5 straight last place finishes and 0 of 8 podiums found since the ranch was founded. New name, new silks, same lackluster heart and finish. See you on the dirt. I love saying see you on the dirt. Love that. Yeah. Absolutely love that.
I like those silks. I like that diamond look. Kind of got a North Carolina Tar Heel vibe. I'm into that.
Yeah, but those mountains look West Coast, Bowser. Those don't look like East Coast mountains. It's K2, right? Isn't K2 the peak K2? I assume it's referencing maybe.
I guess so. Yeah.
I will say though, if I'm judging design between this one and the Cold Plunge rebrand, uh, if I had to guess, Cold Plunge design team. This is looking good. Design team. This one, I like the horse and everything. The checkers, kind of basic. Kind of basic for me.
I kind of like the checkers, but I will say, I mean, just like I said, this is real quick and easy on this one. The new silks ain't going to make your horses better.
True.
So you know, if you're having a problem with how you're finishing, either you need to adjust your process and breeding and your racing or something. You need to make changes. You can't just keep doing the same thing.
And yeah, I the other thing I would say is that probably 8 races is what smart people. I'm out here in Vegas right now. Bet Bash is going on. And if you're not familiar, sports bettors come out, hang out, figure out how to get more access to getting down. But anyway, I feel like we're in a situation here where small sample size should be referenced. I wouldn't I mean, there are stretches at the beginning of seasons in maidens where we have like 8 straight last places, and I want to rip my hair out. I'm not changing the design of the whole farm, the whole stable. Yeah. But I agree with you. I'm going to go 1 stables, 2 ranch is pretty nice, but I'm still going to go farms 2 and ranch 3. All above racing.
Yeah.
All right. So in general, what's your take? Will SGPN stables be rebranding for any reason?
No, we already kind of did that. We changed our silks a while back because they looked too similar to Absolute Horsepower, and we kept getting our asses kicked by them, and they looked similar to us. So I was like, yeah, we should probably fucking change that up. Other than that, no. I mean, dude, we won a major. It's like remember when the Houston Rockets won a championship? And then they rebranded the next year and they won a championship in different uniforms. It's not a good look.
I did rebrand, though. I will be honest.
Oh, well, I mean, that's different. Oh, I like that. I didn't realize that's not your cover photo. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I rebranded personally. I couldn't fit the text in for the Derby winner. I'll have to figure out what I want to delete. I felt it too important to keep Crown on there. But we'll find something. We'll find a way to get this thing in there. But yeah, I mean, he's ready to gig, looking sharp. And remind everyone of our jockey's name, our Derby winning jockey,
Hervé Villachez III.
Looking sharp in that picture. Also, by the way, I don't want to be someone that toots their own horn, but look at that profile picture.
Well, we got a couple jockeys we use. We use him, and we use Donnie DeVito.
Don, his third cousin, 4 times removed, is playing quarterback for the New York Football Giants. So, yes. All right, let's. You want to get over. So Solnut, shout out to the commish. Constantly generating content for this show. He dropped a top or bottom, depending on how you look at it, 5 worst stable names in photo finish game history.
Okay, wow. Yeah. Let's do these quick. We got Hollywood Stables. I'm glad he put them on here. Where's the D? We're here on Fremont Street. We know the D Hotel and Casino is down the street. Where's the D in your name, Hollywood? What do you think? You're John Woo, action film director? Come on.
And also, I mean, I no disrespect. But
we have bought studs from them too. I'm not clowning them.
Yeah, at all. It's a great stable, but you guys have had some nice success on the track. I mean, look at this win percentage on 4,000 races. Let's update these silks. Come on. We can do something here. Maybe I don't know.
First off, we could just add the name. Hey, this isn't about the silks. This is about the names.
You're right. You're right.
That's just going to make this way longer than it needs to be.
Next up, we have
Best Value. Another friend of the show, Gunner. Best Value. We've done a lot of breed swaps and deals. We bought Samurai off him. A lot of business. I wouldn't agree that this is a top 5 worst. I think there's plenty of shittier names in this game than this one.
So I disagree. I remember before I knew Gunner, and I'm going to be trust circle here. No disrespect to Gunner, but I remember when I saw the Best Value with the emojis, the stars. I was like, this almost reminds me of like the AAA, mechanic or whatever, where you're trying to game like old school SEO, where you're trying to game the system and just make your stable name pop a little bit. So I could see why this is I can't argue against the case why it's a bad stable, but I agree with you. I don't know if it's in the all-time bad stable, but I kind of appreciate the dollar store comment, because I do think that one thing that Gunner seems to be moving and shaking. He's always picking up interesting horses near the end of their life. He made shout out to him, because the reason we have Samurai in our stable Afterlife is because he gave us a great deal on it. And so that is one thing I think, if you're a Turf Club member and you want to like dive into another guy that's kind of like operates at all levels in the game and can maybe help you get access to stuff, Gunner's one of them. But yeah, I think this is a little disrespectful to put him on this list, but it's also a respect thing, because clearly there's a little satire to the list.
Yeah,
and there's no bad stables on the list.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is like I've seen plenty of shit. Here's the thing: is if you're a horrible stable that's in the bottom, like you've only raced a handful of times with a shitty name, no one's gonna notice you,
Yeah, no.
But I would say with the dollar store angle, I when people ask me advice on how to name their stable, I always use the Wolf of Wall Street as an example of like, go with like, how they did Stratton Oakmont, just to make it sound like some old school prestigious institution, so like stuff like that's kind of funny, like I don't know, like something silly, just for before you hopped on board, when it was just me by myself, just fucking around, when I just bought a bag of Crown and was watching the game from the side. This stable, our stable, was actually called Consolidated Digital Equestrian, because I wanted it to sound like some mobbed up garbage hauling company.
Yeah, I think that name could go on this list. All right, next number 3, we got D Stables, who, of course, very recently there was a little bit of a back and forth in the old. What did I accidentally pull up here? In the old ownership streets, a little fight over a track, but D Stables. Yeah, this is one of those kind of like House of Zedge early on, where it was like interesting that you're using a different, like it. From what I understand, the D gods, whatever the beginning of this, like it's not. It would be like someone else carrying on SGPN.
Yeah,
that wasn't.
Yeah, no, that's
which is like a I don't want to say it's kind of a cuck thing to do, but it is a little bit of a weird situation. I mean, obviously a dominant stable, and again, part of the reason anyone's on this list is because they're badass. And shout out to D Stables for being verified. I know some of even the biggest stables are not verified. They don't want to go through that. But yeah, I mean, Jockey Club exec, obviously. Look at this. I mean, insane winnings.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's what I think. Is like, this list is fun and all, but it's all just like it's just a clever way to poke fun at this is the funny part. He put himself on the list, and yeah, I mean, really, this is just a clever way to poke fun at the big guys, and
yeah, I mean, I will say, like, if you're gonna make fun of yourself, include the link to your stable. Keep it consistent. I will also say that, yeah, the pun on Soul, or Saul, however you pronounce it, I could see that would be corny. Like after the fact, it's like when you run into that guy who still has like a Hotmail or a Yahoo or whatever address, like, that
stud at hotmail.com.
Yeah, or like college bro 42069 at yahoo.com. It's like, you can change that. And then the last one, which I couldn't agree more, YSM Racing. Easily the worst name in PFL history, when you need an entire Wikipedia article to explain the name, and people still don't. Imagine paying $19 a month for a website that no one visits to highlight what your logo means. Couldn't. We thought, blah, blah, but rebrands. I mean, YSM, one of those stables that, I don't know if you recall, there's a little bit of a rebrand. And little logos shifting. Again, this is a consortium, so yeah, I appreciate this being the worst. And I think anytime you get to clown on someone who did write an essay explaining what their name meant, that's funny.
Yeah, always. That's always funny.
That is excellent humor. All right. Yeah, like Gunner's in the chat too. Shout out Gunner.
I like how we didn't start with 59,000 in PFPs like the commission.
Oh wow.
Shots are firing all over the place here.
I will say my favorite thing about this game is how all of the people who have the most to gain / lose or play the game the most, or they are the ones that just not only do they bitch the most, but they also hate, like they hate each other in a way like NFL owners hate each other. You know what I mean? Like it's like they all get along, they all have to, like they all are like basically the engine that moves this thing.
Yeah, you need each other to survive at the end of the day.
But they fucking hate each other, and they don't want to. It's like there's an element of just like hate. I know they all don't hate each other, but there's an element of hatred between some of them.
I'm sure people have started hating us ever since our Kentucky Derby win, because that's just the natural order of things.
Maybe, although I will say I've heard from many people that if you kill them with comedy, they can never hate you. Although Michael Richards proved us all wrong.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah. Or Dennis Miller, Bill Maher. There's a whole list of quote unquote funny men that no one likes. I guess they're not funny though.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
When the funny when you become unfunny as a funny man. Yeah. All right, should we pop over and do some bubble watch?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start with the sprint, because we don't have a horse going for this one. But I think it's good. We've been doing mostly Derby bubble watch, but we have horses competing for the Derby and the Gallop this season. So I thought it was worthwhile. I'm just looking at Gunner's comment right now. That has to be a typo, right? You want to put that up on the
screen? I think so.
You gaze sober right now? Yeah. No, I am sober right now.
I would like to buy a vowel, Bowser.
Yeah. I am sober, and I'm going to head down to the bar when the show's over. So we're going to knock these last couple segments out quick.
Yeah, I'm working at 8 p.m. I will be live, Sports Gambling Podcast Live, 8 to 11 on the West Coast tonight. So I can't get crazy until 11:05. Then I'll have some good time. Although I was doing tequila shots yesterday by the pool. That was not the norm. So let's not as familiar with the sprint world. Now I will say we did have a couple horses pick up some sprint points this season, which is not something we've even come close to competing in. So makes me feel like we're on our way. We're getting closer.
Is that the top of the screen right there? I think you might have cut off. Okay, yeah. I was just making sure that 128. So right now, 128 is the top with 80. So this is a lot more spread out, I'm seeing, than the Gallop and the Derby qualifiers, where you have a few horses in the hundreds bunched up at the top, and then it gets a little more open at the bottom. But still, the 38 here is the bottom score. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? 45 is going to get you in here at least?
No, I think it's the same. I think what we've realized is with the structure of the qualifying now, the points, at least with like staying in the dirt area, the points do seem to be pretty similar. I would say that the sprinters, like there seems to be a larger volume of sprinters in the races than Gallop and Stayer. But yeah, I mean, you see stable, like the other thing that's interesting is to see the stables that we don't typically see at the longer distances. Like we don't often compete against GVG so much anymore on left dirt. He seems to be much more of a sprint shop over there. Pink Slip, we rarely see. Balthazar, Gibbon Stables, like a lot of these are clearly a little bit more in the sprint streets.
Yeah,
and then you see some of the old regulars like SoCal, Sambry, Pootie's Glue Factory, RVA, and something that stood out here is that no YSM horse currently qualifying for the sprint. So
I think sprints might be. Now this is very me kind of proposing a weird theory here, but sprints might be the hardest thing to qualify for or win, just because you have less things that can go wrong in a shorter race for other people. So,
yeah, and also, like, I mean, look at this record for the top qualifier. But I agree with you. There's there's clearly an element of less variance because there's less distance.
Yeah,
And so that being said, I also, from our perspective, it's been way more competitive and harder for me to gauge when the horse has done something good. I've been duped by some shorter race fleet figures. I feel like more often than I am with I feel like I've just gotten better at understanding the longer horses, but the sprints, I feel like I'm constantly getting either confused or I'm wrong about something.
absolute in the chat. LD sprints are the hardest, no doubt. Maybe right dirt, but who the fuck cares? He gets it.
Yeah, and that would be an interesting, kind of breakdown of like where is the densest competition, and because like when we got into the game, it clearly was over on right dirt, but I mean, I don't know, the left dirt side has also become pretty competitive. It feels like, and yeah, back to your comment about the points, I think a lot of the points it's purely based on the structure, right? You have the four. 1, 2, 3 G1s. You have the 21 G2s or whatever it is. Actually, it's 42, and then you have all the stakes races, which I think they either already reduced the amount of stakes races, or
and not all the stakes races fill, so some of those don't actually end up running.
Well, I think there was talk, and I don't know if it was for this season or next, but I'm pretty sure they were talking about reducing the number of stakes races as well, which I love. I love the idea of just having maybe you run 2 stakes, just having it be funneled in so you have have deeper fields, have more horses in these big qualifier events. And so and shout out to Japan, dab time, baby. Japan dab time is actually racing later tonight, I believe, looking to qualify for a second straight mini major free roll. But yeah, anyway, last point I wanted to make about this was, I think in studying the point qualifications, it does seem like and you'll see this as we go up the track, but the sprint, there are more points, there are more qualification points in total coming out of the sprint qualifying for sure. But I do think the ending quali line will still end up being in that mid 40s, maybe because there's more points, it's high 40s. But yeah, and the other thing is just, getting a good chuckle out of looking at all these YSM horses on the outside looking in. And by the way, you want a stable to watch that, I mean, at least TMZ player over here, but Given Stables, again, not someone that we've bumped into a bunch on the track, but pretty impressed by the number of horses after studying some of these qualification efforts that they have.
Yeah, it looks like they got 2 going in this one.
Oh, they have a ton. Including the top one, but I mean they have a ton on the outside looking in too. Might be a good stable to take a peruse at and see what we got going on over there.
All right, let's look at the Gallop.
The Gallop's more fun because
we have a good qualifier there.
Give me a second. I prepared all this stuff ahead of time and it didn't work out. AKA I accidentally closed it all. Gallop. Here we go. You should see it now. All right, and now we're getting back into a world that we have a little bit more familiarity with, at least this season, because we've been fortunate enough to have a horse on the clearly qualified at this point. Top of the board, a cut above. The cut above also is qualifying for the Derby, I believe.
Yeah,
which is pretty.
That's
impressive.
A very good horse. But look at what you see here. I think it's a little more top heavy with 2 horses over 100 there, a couple at 80. And it seems a little more even. I don't know, but it seems to be that there's a like we have with the Derby the last couple of seasons. You start seeing the same horses in all these qualifiers over and over again. Yeah.
I mean, I would argue that it's pretty clearly just the bottom falls out quicker. So however you want to phrase that, like to your point, maybe more top heavy. More of these horses up here are collecting all the points, causing there to be a little bit more of a vacuum.
Which
down
says
here.
There's variance for those bottom spots there. So I feel like more people should probably be like, dude, if you're above, I would say 18 right now, 17.
Couple gambles.
You might as well, dude. You might as well. Like
that was a key point in the YSM article. Qualify at all costs. Another horse that I believe is qualifying for both right now is number 1.
Number 1, I think he's just outside on the Derby. I noticed that. I was looking at that I'm so dialed in on this year's Derby bubble watch. I was watching this morning's 8 a.m. race, even though we didn't have a horse in it, just to see how the leaderboard would shake out after. So
And then just quick, since I don't think we've talked much about Mona Lisa Smile on a stream, but it was kind of the last time we talked about it. I think it was like, yeah, we got something maybe going on here, but
Yeah, because she had won the redemption run, so we were kind of talking about how you don't want to give up on 2-year-olds because that redemption run series really could help you discover something you might have normally benched in the past.
So what I'm showing you right here is this is the 2-year-old season of this horse. Now, this could just be I'm a donkey here, but this horse was like there was not much showing. Fortunately, we have these $3 redemption races where okay, we got a win. To your point, we got 2 wins in the redemption series, and then we won the free roll, and it was like, okay, maybe there's something here. But even then, it's like we were running at 5. We thought this was a sprint. I thought this was a sprinter.
Yeah,
it wins the redemption run at 7, and then it's like, let's see what happens here. And then it turns out that this horse has been good all the way up even to 9.
And so this is what I was saying earlier about when you want to rebrand. If you're trying to focus on specific distance always with your horses, you're probably missing out on distances they can run that you didn't you weren't giving them a shot at. And this is a great example where we were won the redemption run as a sprinter, but now it's qualifying for the gallop as a 3-year-old. So maybe the aging curve added some distance to this one too as part of that.
Well, and I want to show you, this was an interesting one because it was like, okay, let's hit the stakes race, which this, if you can see, it's 1.8K. So it was actually like a restricted stakes race. We didn't do that well. Okay, let's try another stakes race. Okay, we didn't do so well. And I said, you know what? I'll do one more. Because I wanted to get it back into an 8. And I was like, okay, one more. And then it pops. And so once it pops, it's like, okay, now I feel like at this point I'm going to bump it up. 3rd, 5th, 7th. And then this is an unbelievable like mid-season aging curve. Or 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 5th. A ton of wins in there, but basically on the podium every time. And the 5th place finish, Bowser, was a yielding.
We saw that 87 too. That's when I realized, okay, I think we got something here.
And so this is an interesting horse. But again, I guess the thesis is like that use the redemption. If you're not using the redemption series, use it. And if you're not familiar with how it works, you do have to have so many races to get in those races. So if you fall behind, it becomes hard to catch up because at first you need 3 races and then 5 races, etc. So looking at the bloodline for Mona Lisa Smile, this comes from, which nice find by Mr. And from our stable, we've talked about the first half unders, Lemon Royale pairing that we've made a couple of. Well, no touchback, a nice star profile, not exactly good sub. I mean, this isn't the best. What are we looking at here, Bowser? A minus 3 + 1, so -2. Not nothing crazy, on track.
And to me,
here.
just from breeding standpoint, what I like about this no touchback horse for us is we were talking about this last week about we're down to punt temper a lot of the times because we'll put it in later. This is a horse you put temper in later with because it's got good stars and it's got good temper.
Yeah, and I wanted to show the breed report for this one too, just to kind of like if you look at this shape. I guess you could squint and see why this is having success in the gallop. I can't. I mean,
I'm not sure.
Where do you think the uproll where do you think the good stuff is coming from?
I'm really not sure on that one. Like I'm always wrong, so I don't even guess anymore. It's just keep running at the distance, and then we'll see what it was, and maybe one day I'll figure out why things are doing what, but. I still haven't figured that side of it out yet. I'm not going to even
because that isn't dead on like this. I don't think that's dead on the shape that we're looking for. So yeah, always interesting to kind of go back and look at that. But yeah, so it does seem like the cut line for the gallop is going to end up being. We'll move on to the Derby now, but it does seem like the cut line for the gallop is right in that. We basically said 45 points, I think, a couple of seasons ago, and it's really been holding pretty close to true. And so
I would say 50, and you're for sure in.
Oh, definitely. And not many races left. Like the last qualifying race goes off Monday morning, the G1. Now there are 75 qualifying points available, but guess what? Probably one of the horses up here is going to take those points. So.
Yeah, and just looking at it, like it was funny that race I was watching this morning. I was like going, okay, because it was like two of the top ones towards the top that were both ahead of us were in it, and I was like, well, I hope they finish first and second. Let the horses that are already ahead of us hog those points. I don't want people from behind running us down. But I don't think there's enough races yet in the season for all these horses behind us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I pulled the sprint back up. Hold on.
Oh, you dingleberry. I was like, yeah, this is not.
This doesn't look right.
It did not look right. Yeah. I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, it did not look right.
You got to say something next. See something, say something is what they say. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah,
now you're on the gallop. So now you're going to want to go to the Derby.
No, we were just finishing up here. I was just saying, like, we're locked in here.
Yeah.
And the cut line, like 45 points. Actually,
I mean, 33. I would say 40 gets you in here for sure. I don't think there's enough.
Yeah, no, for sure. To your point to your comment on the top heavy earlier, I think that's it stands out there. All right, let's look at the Derby.
And so here, this one was the one I was saying was very top heavy.
Woo!
Yeah. Talk to the Bone, Belgian Blonde, and Stomp of Thunder have just been dominating these qualifiers. So, but it has allowed it's left the back door open for some horses at the bottom, because it's so top heavy with those horses taking up so many qualifying points. That being said, when you're getting that many qualifying points, that means you're winning. And if you're winning at this point in the season, you want to keep getting more money. So you're going to keep running them, even though, you don't, unless they start trying to run them to maybe qualify in something else. So, can we go down to our horse actually? Because
I was just looking at this bad boy here.
I kind of wanted to continue to look at the points though. Yeah. So go down, to the very bottom, because what we want to see here is, all right, mathematically, we're at 43. Okay, go below the cut line. Now, look, there's a 31, a 31, a 28, and then a 24. Okay, we are currently we're 14th. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're like 13th or whatever, 14th on the qualifying board right now. There's not enough, especially with the graded stakes or even stakes races. There's not enough points left available for like 7 horses to pass us here. Because like you're saying, like it would be like mathematically, it's pretty much impossible just with the points. But when you factor in that those big dogs are going to keep getting, they're not going to be shut out here down the stretch. And it would almost have to be every point going to all these other horses to bump us off the spot here.
Yeah, it seems pretty, because to your point, like you have, you would need 7 horses to overtake you, and at least one of those horses is 12 points back.
So you have an 8 p.m. tonight, you have an 8 a.m. tomorrow, an 8 p.m. Tomorrow night, and repeat those 2 for Sunday, and then the 8 a.m. Monday. So what is that like?
You actually don't have that many, because you only have the 8 p.m. tonight, the 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and
is there an 8 a.m. tomorrow too, though?
There's an 8 a.m. on Sunday. Okay. There's not an 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh wow!
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the staggering.
So that's even less points then. Because I was factoring in 8 a.m. tomorrow. So if that's not on the board, then I think we're safe in this one. Although we are running the 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and we are going to definitely run that G1 on Monday. I think that's.
We'll be running both G1s. Should be pretty fun. But we're seeing like the top heavy nature of a board can certainly drag the cut line down. And I don't think the Gallop or the Derby will end up with a cut line at 45. To your point, I think we're probably good. I think we just picked up 4 points, I think, in our last race, and that probably was all we needed to lock it up. But if you asked me how many points do I expect for us in the next 2 races, I would probably still say we pick up a couple. So
I would say we pick up 4. I would say that's fair.
And then you see, shout out to Absolute Horsepower. They got a number of horses going a cut above, like we mentioned. Quality to point out here, Bowser. And number 1 is currently in the field.
Well, so that's good. That's interesting to point out too, because cut above. is better at the gallop distance, so it's probably going to run there. So this is a horse that's qualified for the Derby that's probably not going to run in the Derby. So that's even one less piece of competition we have to worry about.
And there too, currently qualifying for both. But something that stood out to me, Bowser, there's not a single YSM horse currently qualifying for the Derby. And the only horse with a chance is currently 4 points back. So, I mean, oh my. Let's see. Is he even trying? Let's see if he's scraping. Or they. I should say a they. I got to use the proper pronoun. I apologize to why. Oh, not even in a race right now. This could be interesting. Yeah. Even trying to scrape in stakes races. That's the desperation. All right. Well, good stuff on the bubble. Excited to have 2 horses in the free roll, in the major free roll streets. Hopefully next Saturday. Of course, you're going to want to tune in next Saturday, as myself and Scott Bowser will be broadcasting the virtual Kentucky Derby card live starting at 5 p.m. on the West Coast. We'll run through 6 p.m. For the race. And then, of course, after the race, I believe, and I'm going to check this live on there, I believe we have another Baxis Cup coming up on Saturday. And then, and then we have the SGPN Classic, as I mentioned earlier, the Dirt Classic, which is, I'm not going to do this live on the air. The SGPN Classic, which is, again, $100 free roll. Yes, we do have a Baxis Cup this season, Bowser. So, yeah, we'll have the Sprint at 5:30 Pacific. We'll have the Gallop at 5:45 Pacific, the Derby at 6 p.m. Pacific, the Baxis Cup at 6:15, which is a right turf horse this season. And then, of course, we'll finish it out with the SGPN Classic, where you're going to need to be in Turf Club to get in this one.
Yep.
If you're not in Turf Club and you used our code, let me know. If you've bred with us, let me know. You got to fill out the application. If not, get signed up if you're new to the game at code SGPN when you sign up, and you get to be in Turf Club. If you sign up now, you can still get in the Dirt Classic. And I got to be honest, Bowser, we may even have a horse that we could loan. If a stable signs up in the next couple of days, I think we even have a horse to loan them to run. I think we
can too, yeah.
In the Dirt Classic. So again, nice little $100. And by the way, the cool thing, I like what they do with the free rolls. They spread the money out, so no one goes home empty-handed. You're going to leave with a little crown, a little Derby in your pocket. So let's I predict this will be an 18-horse field this season. Or this season, Bowser. So,
all right.
And then, like Scott mentioned earlier, we will be doing a bonus show coming up. 5 p.m. on Friday. We will be in the same room in the Circa. They're doing a Radio Row for sign-up weekend, Circa Million, Circa Survivor. So we're going to be doing a little He's Ready to Gig forensic files. We're going to take you through the life and times of He's Ready to Gig, talk about our decisions, and hopefully share some knowledge that can help someone else go through the same experience. Just kidding, Bowser. You're not going to win the Derby like we did.
I did see Gunner in the chat asking to tell us our secrets and thoughts on temper. You know what? We can cover that on next Friday. We'll
nice. All right.
Cover that for sure.
So Bowser will bring his Indiana Jones hat, and we will explore the temper phenomenon. But yeah, so next week 2 episodes. Friday 5 p.m. again, more of an evergreen episode. We're going to go through the life and times of He's Ready to Gig. If there's anything you are curious about, certainly hit us up at Kramercentric, at Scott_Bowser, at SGPN Stable. Shoot us a DM or whatever, or me in Discord, about what you would want to, like, what part of the journey you'd be curious for us to dive into deeper. We're going to hit all the major points, but if there's something you're curious about, let us know. So that'll be Friday live, 5 p.m. Expect that to be like a 30-minute episode or so, nothing crazy. And then, like I said, Saturday's Derby Day. So tune in. We will have a giveaway on the Derby that I have completely forgotten about, but we have bred a horse that we will give. It's a mare. We will give that away on the Derby. So look out for me on social at Kramercentric. I'll announce the contest. It's going to be just reply with your bet vibe tickets, and we'll probably make it a Derby Day competition. So reply with your bet vibe bets from Derby Day. And get entered to win beautiful, beautiful mare that Bowser handcrafted, curated himself. He even He even personally observed the process of inseminating
Yep.
the beautiful mare. So it's a beautiful horse, and yeah, like I feel like I'm Donald Trump now. Too many beautifuls. We will be giving that out on the Derby stream. So we have drinks to get to. I have a show to get to. 8 p.m. Pacific.
I got
11
someone
Eastern.
trying to get back in the room right now. So yeah.
8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Tune in on VSiN, Sirius XM, channel 158, YouTube TV. Go check that out. Me and Sean are gonna have a good time. And yeah, if you're at the Circa, come say what's up. We'll be drinking afterwards, 11 p.m. Maybe some craps, maybe some NFL slot machine. So for myself and the chief horse officer, Mr. Scott Bowser, we are the. I think I figured out the sign off. We are Kentucky Derby champions. Let it ride.